We've all heard of genetics, but what is epigenetics? And the only I think of EpiPen, and I think of epicenter of an earthquake. How do you get epigenetics?
There are two types of information in the body. We know of genetics. Genetics is the DNA. The epigenetics are the control systems that tell which genes to be switched on and off, which DNA to be looped out and unraveled and read by the cell versus which genes to be bundled up and silenced. And that's the epigenome, the reader of the genome.
Oh, okay.
Wow. But why is it new? I mean, it sounds like that should have been
always been there.
Always been known and understood.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just as important as DNA. The reason that it's not really talked about as much is it's a lot more difficult to study. It's super easy now to read a genome. You can read it on a little device this big in less than a day. It used to be $2 billion and take months, but now it's easy. But the epigenome is still hard to read because it's three-dimensional and over time four-dimensional, and these structures are still being elucidated.
Well, just get AI to do it all, and you can go to the Bahamas while it figures it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried.
And it'll do it in a day.
Okay, guys. Well, I think there's something to take away here. I do like this topic, but I will say that this is not a call to action to go get your genome map. No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think the call to action has to do with what are these switches that he's referring to as epigenetics. So maybe the analogy works where genetics are what loads the gun, right? Your epigenetics is what pulls the trigger. So your lifestyle dictates a lot of what your genes are already predisposed for. So here's a personal example, and I hope this can relate to some of you out there because it's concerning and sometimes a little bit scary, but I find now the more that I know about it, the more kind of hope and relief I have too, thinking about it. So my father actually died with colorectal cancer. His first diagnosed with that. His health started to deteriorate in other ways, and he ended up dying from heart disease. But the colorectal cancer aspect is unique because I thought about his lifestyle. And early in pharmacy school, I tried to make an intervention, but it was often charred foods, a lot of grilled, charred foods. I remember barbecue chicken constantly with him. And I just remember thinking, man, those are high in carcinogen. And I remember alcoholism, sedentary lifestyle, ultra-processed food. If I or my father were genetically predisposed to colorectal cancer, he pulled the trigger because of his lifestyle, whereas I do not. I focus on whole foods, real ingredients. I avoid carcinogenic foods. As an example is the grilled charred stuff that you would eat. It's an interesting topic. I think it's a lot above people's heads, but if you can really boil it down to recognize the fact that even with genetic predisposition due to family history, that you can control a lot of it with your lifestyle, well, that becomes a whole lot more powerful of a takeaway message. And they didn't really get into that in this video, but I'm telling you that you can do it. And that's why with Live Good and our opportunity to talk about education, it's not always just about supplements, but like this holistic view to health and important things and how incredibly powerful and necessary like exercise is and socialization and managing our stress, focusing on our sleep and dialing that in. Of course, supplementation is a big pillar of that health, but these are the things that can really create a more healthy, holistic approach to health. But don't forget, I still, like even for me, with that risk of colorectal cancer, I will still go for earlier screening. I will still go in for checkups. And I encourage you guys all to do the same if you suspect that there's a genetic predisposition. If you're looking to take control of your health, like I was, you know, it's actually pretty easy. I will say that it's not taking control of your destiny, but it's having a say in it. And the first things first, find a medical provider and get your screenings. The best first thing you can do. But then right away, you need to incorporate lifestyle measures. So lifestyle medicine is unique, but for me, I view it as 6 main pillars. Number 1 is socialization, and these aren't in any real particular order, but socialization is important. Like being socially isolated is detrimental to our health. So engaging with our community, engaging with our peers, our friends, our family, becoming more active and just doing things more socially has been shown to benefit our health. You know, there's ways to get more involved. You can say join a community event. You can find a neighbor and take a walk after meals. These are just great ways to increase our social interaction. Obviously been shown and demonstrates good health outcomes. Then of course there's sleep optimization. I'm a huge proponent of this, but I can't talk about sleep without addressing stress because there is a link between the two. So optimizing our sleep, putting a lot of effort into it, learning about the benefits and the things you can do to set yourself up for a beneficial sleep. You gotta really be disciplined. Like for instance, a couple things there would be no blue light at least 2 hours or at least 1 hour before sleep. No food at least 2 hours before sleep. Getting on a good healthy sleep schedule is gonna give you incredible return on investment. And then stress management, because there are a lot of tactics for stress management, but you got to find what works for you. You know, whether it's journaling, which has been shown to be very powerful, whether it's talking to a therapist, maybe just a certain exercise routine like yoga that you enjoy doing. Incorporating more of these tactics into your daily lifestyle can be very beneficial as well. And then we talk about supplementation. Supplementation is so powerful. We know that people are deficient, even for the ones that eat healthy. If you drink alcohol or if you drink caffeine, if you're exercising, if you're stressed, if you're taking medications, most commonly it's that 92% of people are deficient in at least one vitamin mineral. So supplementation is actually very, very important. There's of course exercise. Guys, we need to be moving our body, and it depends on your personal abilities. Getting involved in sports and the gym and group fitness, these are all things that are absolutely worth your time, worth your effort. You'll feel incredible and actually can bring more energy throughout your day. And finally, there's nutrition. Food is medicine. About everything that we talk about is how powerful the food choices we are, how they can affect our health outcomes. So please choose more healthy food options, whole foods, real ingredients. Eat the foods under the rainbow. You know, just choose things that are high in phytonutrients, those colorful plant compounds. There's just so much benefit. And of course, guys, avoid the ultra processed foods. That's the most powerful nutrition advice I can give you. These 6 pillars of health, they can help us take control of our health and somewhat control our destiny. All jokes aside, it's probably the easiest thing to do is just to start supplementation. And that's one of the reasons why we started Live Good. It's high quality supplements, they're easy to take, and you can make that part of your daily routine, and then you start to feel more empowered, and you start to feel better, and things is sort of a snowball effect. And then you can start incorporating some of these other healthy lifestyle measures, and then you're taking a more holistic approach to improving your health. So if you're ready to take control, maybe take some of the weight off your shoulders. Remember the 2 steps. Let's get our screening done. So get our blood work done, get established with a medical provider, and then secondly, incorporate these lifestyle measures. Specifically, get started on supplementation. That's gonna be the easiest, lowest hanging fruit so that you can start to feel better every